There's a quote that says Cabernet is best when blended.
And does that 1% and 2% of a blend make a difference?
Every good song has like a hook, right? As part of making any wine, we want a hook.
If you're thinking about the Hilltop blend, like how many one sitting are you going through?
Even when we get to the very end, we think we got the perfect blend, take it one step further.
And I didn't actually realize how much science was involved in winemaking until this job.
So that's Cabernet. We'll come back and taste.
Okay.
Do the next one,
Merlot.
Merlot second.
Ooh, completely different aroma.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Good.
Welcome to the Share the Lohr podcast by J. Lohr Vineyards and Wines, where we take you behind the scenes over a glass of wine. Let's uncork and dive in. So welcome to the future. If you're wondering what just happened on this table, we have Brenden Wood, who is our red winemaker. We're also joined for the first time ever, Suzanne O'Toole, who is our assistant manager of our San Jose Wine Center. My name's Josh Baldovino. I'm the marketing manager here at J. Lohr. And Brenden just took us through a masterclass about how he blends Cabernets. We're making an old world blend versus what maybe the differences of a Paso Cabernet, more new world. So welcome to the podcast. Let's jump in. All right.
Cool.
Brenden, thank you so much for jumping on and doing a blending podcast with us.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, real quick, what is everyone looking at and what are we looking at?
We're gonna try to agree on a blend goal, a stylistic goal, and it's gonna be a wine. This is 2024 vintage that we're working with here. So 2024 vintage in Paso Robles had a good amount of rain in the winter, pretty good growing season, and then there was a little bit of some heat spells in the early fall, early September, almost this time last year. And so what we're going to do is we're going to taste Cabernet Sauvignon. We're going to do a Cabernet Sauvignon based blend. If we've got enough time, maybe we'll do a Merlot based blend or something like that. And then we'll use some of the other primary Bordeaux varieties to make our stylistic goal that we agree on. We've got Cabernet Sauvignon that we'll taste. We've got Merlot, Malbec, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot. And so we'll talk through some of those vital characteristics that you smell and you taste, and then we'll use those in percentages and dial them in just to try to see if we can hit our goal, our sweet spot. So this is our base wine right here. So you can set up your glasses.
Yes.
CS means Cabernet Sauvignon. So pour yourself, I don't know, just enough in there to get yourself a good taste, good smell, and I'll pass it around. Yeah, there you go.
Do you want to pour it?
Yeah, I'll pour it. Brenden, so is this what like a normal day looks like for you?
We blend almost every day. Oh. So I'll just taste them kind of or I'll just taste the Cabernet or whatever. You guys can do the heavy lifting right now.
Oh, there's our spit cups.
There's your spit cups, yeah.
Thank you.
So did I explain that pretty good? So we're going to make a Cabernet Sauvignon based blend, and we've got 4 different other varietals: Merlot, Malbec, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc to work with to achieve a style that we're after. And so I would encourage right now, before actually tasting anything, that's okay, you did, that's fine, it's okay. We had that good Vietnamese sandwich for lunch or whatever, so it's just clear out your palate. Let's just pour all of the wines that we have to work with first. Just go first thing before you get all the wine in your palate and everything else. Go through, and your nose has the ability to smell untold number of aromas, right? Like hundreds of thousands. But the taste is only, half dozen, right? Sweet, sour, salty, umami. There's also the tannin. So there's that astringent. It's not really a taste. It's the astringency that you feel in the palate. So the dryness or whatever. So you've got those there. So I always go through and just smell everything first. We'll make notes on those aroma things, and let's agree on some things that we smell all together on these. So pour yourself some of that. That's our Merlot.
If you want to give.
And we'll just go around and maybe pat around robin or whatever. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
He did say we were going to spill.
Yes, I did say. You're not working if you don't spill.
I guess I need more to blend with then, huh?
Yeah, and it's always that first pour that's the hardest.
And then you feel these pretty full though, right? Obviously just to minimize the oxygen contact.
Yes, correct, yeah. So here's our Malbec. So just pass that.
Oh, she was pro.
I'm pouring a lot, so it doesn't So
There's these napkins too.
Oh, that is like
Yeah.
much more purpley.
Yeah.
yeah, the
So that's a
color.
note, right? Take note of that. Those are things.
What one was that?
That's our Malbec.
Malbec.
And Malbec is something that we use for color, right? It's got a lot of real dark color too.
And this is Cab Franc.
This is Cab Franc. Yeah.
Tango, and then one more
Cool.
Petit
And the
Verdot.
last is Petit. There we go.
Obviously, when you're doing this in your office, it is not a small podcast recording table.
Yeah, we usually have it at pretty long table, and there's a lot of time when we're blending like the Hilltop Cabernet. That's 40 or 50 different Cabernets that we're just focused on Cabernets first, and then we'll bring in some of these other varietals. So it's usually a multi-day process. It can take even a couple weeks because we'll make a first round on the table here like this, and then we'll make it in the cellar, and then once it's made in the cellar, then we'll do another round of fine-tuning it a little bit more. So go ahead and just smell your Cabernet. Give me some. There's not really any oak on this. Very little oak. So
Is it true when you're smelling it that you're supposed to open your mouth slightly when you're? Have you heard that?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that one.
I've heard
Yeah,
it
I
that
don't
you
know.
get a better aromas if you open slightly.
It could be that it passes through and
Yeah.
you get a little drizzle or something like that.
I did read that too somewhere. I don't remember
Yeah.
the source.
That's awesome. So there's very little oak in these wines, so that eliminates that whole part of the process or whatever. And we're just going to focus on the fruit characteristics from the variety. And as we were talking earlier, first step is was it red fruit or black fruit or blue fruit? It could be all three, right? Really good wines will have all three. What's the most probably predominant?
Blue.
Blue? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
it's-
smelling black.
Yeah, I'd say black, and then black fruit is the main, but I do get some blue and some red fruits too, but I would say the black is the main.
It also makes it hard if you don't smell these things
Yeah, I
normally.
know.
Normally,
Then
yeah.
it's hard to pick out.
Yeah, I think of like blackberries,
Yeah. Is there a little currant?
some currant, yeah, blackberries and currant.
And you know what's interesting on actually this wheel that we have in front of us? There's only a red and a black fruit. There's not a blue fruit on here.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess I don't know. I guess blueberries is still black fruit.
Yeah.
Am I getting a little spice on this?
Yes, yeah. Cabernet, oftentimes it's one of those pyrazine varieties where it can have a little bit of some greenness, a little bit of mint, a little bit of black pepper. So you picking up maybe a touch of mint, a touch of black pepper. Sometimes it could smell like thyme or
There's definitely,
lavender or rosemary. Some of those like herb de Provence type of aromas.
Yeah, there's something that has that little bit of spice or pepper to it. So it's probably could be green pepper.
Maybe a touch of green pepper, a little bit of like black pepper,
Like
fresh cracked pepper. Yeah, there you go. And that's all. So we were talking the main fruit thing, and now these are some of these other
Coming through.
secondary type of aromas that are coming through. You can use we have our wheels there. So most of these things you're going to be on these tasting wheels here, you're going to have they've got some kind of oaky type derived and more of these kind of fruit type aromas. So you probably want to look toward more of those red fruit, black fruit, dried fruit, spice, vegetable, earth, those type of things. If we have any microbial, then that means I'm not really doing my job too well. We shouldn't have at this point. We shouldn't have too many microbial type of flavors or whatever. Sometimes you can get some when it's going through malolactic. You can get some of these kind of yogurty smells, but those will go away in time pretty quickly within several weeks after the malolactic is done. So these wines they're 10 months old or something like that. So they shouldn't have anything like that.
So then without the trained palate, the average person, if they can pick out one or two things, probably doing a good job.
Yeah.
But for your team, when you're going through the list and you're checking through these, like how many are you actually able to pick out?
We could pick out a lot, and particularly when you have them side by side, you'll start to notice. Oh, this one's really got this particular character that sticks out. This wine has this particular character that sticks out. So even just within Cabernet Sauvignon, just depend on, then it starts going to like the vineyard sites and what those vineyard sites and the vintage too. Yeah, some Cabernets if it's like kind of lower spot in the hill, and maybe you have a little bit more of those minty characters, a little less black fruit, and maybe more red fruit or things like that. So there's definitely the site, and then the location within the appellation too is going to play an effect on it. Clones and the rootstocks. So there's a lot of variability even just within one variety that you can get. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like our note doc will be like blue fruit and a little black fruit and spice. And you'll say, I have 60% of some blueberry and 40% here.
Using percentages.
Oh, I don't know. Is that?
I don't really think
scoring
of percentages, but yeah, we certainly will score wines based on complexity, the depth, how dark it is. I failed to have you guys do that first.
Or the white,
give it a look at the color. A cheat method you can do is just, if you've got any like graph paper or paper, whatever, you take the wine all the way to the rim and you see how much you can count, or how many, if you got a book or something, you see how far down, how many rows of letters you can read or whatever.
Gotcha.
That gives you it's a poor man's way of just seeing what the depth of the wine is. So these are all going to be really.
But it's got like a raspberry looking color around.
I like that.
Edge.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, your descriptor for the color raspberry. Yeah, it's real bright. Yeah, lively. So that's Cabernet. We'll come back and taste.
Okay.
And then go do the next one,
Merlot.
Merlot second.
Ooh, completely different aroma.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Just on the first.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And then you can go back to the other one.
Yeah. And this is why we're not tasting, because you taste and it starts to really.
Yeah. Like, how do you when
start losing the refined senses of the smell?
When you're tasting so many, how do you retain that taste? How do you know what you're tasting? Does it not get mixed up on the palate?
Go slow, be patient, and take some breaks.
Yeah.
So using what would you guys?
Something brighter about it.
Brighter, very bright fruit, right? Super bright fruit.
It's definitely not as deep in color as the Cabernet.
Yes.
It's lighter.
That's a good observation. And Merlot is most commonly it's a little lighter than Cabernet is going to be, just in general. Yeah.
It's like a deep purple versus
more reddish hues, bright. I'd say that this raspberry, almost candied raspberry.
There's almost like an initial perfume note or something.
Perfumey,
like that.
Yeah, that's what makes Merlot so cool. Yeah, has these kind of floral characteristics. So write all that sort of stuff down. So we're calling it, I'd say more red fruit, raspberry. Sometimes you can talk about the intensity of the aroma.
Okay.
How intense is it? Is it medium intensity, or is it just really strong intensity? I'd say it's pretty strong.
It's a strong intensity, because you don't have to put your nose right into the glass to get the aroma.
Yeah. So that's something to take note of, right? If we're sure going for a stylistic goal, we want a lot of just perfumey red fruit, then that's something that we would lean on.
And it's red fruit, but it's not currant. It's a different. I know. Don't be laughing at me.
No, you're doing a great job, Suzanne.
There's almost some kind of
red wine. So. Yeah, it's maybe it's that lighter, but there also is. It's not like the last where I could get a spice. But there is a herb in here. There's some kind of.
And Merlot is like Cabernet Sauvignon, where it can have some of those pyrazine characters too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can have some of those. If pepper, or green pepper, black pepper, those sorts of things,
And then so obviously we're doing this at a much slower pace than you'd be doing as you're tasting through different wines.
You got to take your time on it. Yeah, we'll probably a little bit quicker, taking notes a little faster, but you got to take your time and just try to take it all in.
And then obviously we're going through, at least right now today, 5 different varietals. If you're thinking about the Hilltop blend, how many one sitting are you going through?
How many wines? So the first thing we do is we get the Cabernet right. Yeah. So that's what I was talking about, how the different vineyard sites and the location. So that's really where we're noodling down the Cabernet that's most appropriate for our house style for Hilltop. And then once we get all the Cabernet right, then that's when we'll start working with some of the other blenders. Usually our house style, we'll use Malbec and Petit Verdot as the primary blenders. And I think you'll see why and how it fits in. And then sometimes we'll also add Cabernet Franc too. And I think you'll see why we do that too.
And do you try to keep it consistent every year, the same taste? Do you want the same taste year after year, or do you go with...
We want a consistent style, but there's going to be vintage variation, and I think that's a good thing. That makes wines unique.
Yeah.
We have a consistent house style that people know us for, that we're always trying to achieve, that high quality for the price, and soft on the palate, lots of fruit and density, but soft on the palate and nice balance with the oak. And so that's the style that we're going for, But you will, if you take a 2023 vintage and a 2022 vintage,
Yes.
you're going to notice vintage variation, and that's fine. Like, we want people to experience that a little
Yeah.
bit. That's what makes it fun. Okay, so Malbec next. Let's try that one there.
Wow, this one's much deeper in color than the Merlot.
It's definitely got a really purple hue.
Crazy purple hue, right?
Yeah.
We like Malbec a lot because it has a lot of dark color hue like that, but then the tannins on it, that astringency that you normally get with Cabernet or something like that, it's going to have like half of that, so it's a lot less astringent typically on the palate. And that's color, but also softness as well.
And that's interesting how you think about what you're blending in and then how much of it, each characteristic you actually want in the final product.
And it's just amazing how much just even like a couple percentages will change I think you guys will see today. Yeah.
It's like a plum color when you put it down against the paper just
That's
around
a great
the rim.
descriptor of it. Yeah, I'm going to write that down. Plum color, deep.
Very,
It's probably, I don't know if it's the darkest one, but very,
yeah.
very close.
No,
You guys, sometimes we describe Malbec as having this kind of hibiscus kind of floral
Yeah,
aromas.
I think
Are
that's
you guys picking up on that?
Yeah, it's very there's that. Sometimes it's hard to even differentiate between the aromas that you're getting.
Yeah.
You know, I can smell it, but it's hard to.
It's almost like tutti frutti, a little bit.
Red, definitely.
Tons of red fruit. Yep.
And then trying to go back between now the three that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And you have the same like hint of floral as the Merlot, but then the fruit on which one I'm trying to figure out which one's more similar
Yeah.
to.
And that's why, it's why you want them just run them there. You know, these it's
Yeah.
all together, so you can go back and forth and do that, which is exactly what you're doing. Now you're becoming more acute to these kind of particular
Different.
aromas from each wine, and then you go back to them and go, oh yeah, I picked that up a little bit more on that one. I picked that up a little less on that one.
And what I'm trying to get is a spice, but I don't.
Malbec,
Because I think the Merlot they had more of a spice.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's agreed. Malbec is typically not much of a spice bringer.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's not a pyrazine variety, so it's not going to have
The bell peppers.
those
or
bell
the,
pepper type stuff. Yeah.
And you must have aced your W set.
What? I did very well. I did very well. Shocked myself. I didn't ace.
But it has some of those same kind of red raspberry.
Yeah, definitely the raspberry.
Maybe not as candied or whatever.
No,
but
it's a little bitter. There's a little, maybe it's like the fruit isn't as ripe.
yeah. Say like fresh raspberry.
Yeah, maybe it's fresh.
Really pretty though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then give that Cab Franc a shot.
Okay, and thinking about the wines that are in front of us, we do have single varietals for all of them that are bottled. But like, how common is that for other wineries to still also produce a single varietal of like a major Bordeaux?
Boy, if it's something like Merlot, it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Something like Petit Verdot, it's hard to find them.
Like, I haven't seen that many Petit
No,
Verdots.
there's not a lot.
I sold a case yesterday.
Oh, this one smells really different.
Yeah.
Really different. Yeah.
We're going back to the darker fruit. The
Darker fruits.
the
yes.
black fruit,
Black
the
fruit, blue fruit.
blue fruit, yeah.
Got a peppery note on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that's what you were going to say, peppery. Cabernet Franc is like the freshest. That's really going to have the most of those pyrazine, those green, some of those
Yeah.
herbal notes. I think are really pretty. Like, they can be real pretty. They can be extreme under some growing conditions. If you don't have enough growing degree days to get Cab Franc ripe enough, it'll be very like bell peppery, and some people like that a lot. But
Yeah, this one is very
Yeah.
bell peppery.
yeah, it's got
There
It's
is
a
a
green bell pepper.
it's got this kind of freshness that
there's a smell there that is different, and I don't know what it is, but
is maybe some basil, some thyme.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
some,
it's probably one of-
some of those. Just think of all those different herbal. That's got that.
I'm sorry, I'm Irish. I say herbs. If you're not understanding me.
But
So-
then that like the herbs,
Thank you.
that actually almost like it overpowers the fruit for me.
Yeah, yeah, and that's your preference for that wine or whatever. But if you're thinking about it in terms of a blender, maybe that in a few percent might add
need
some
it.
freshness to the Cabernet Sauvignon, or maybe a little bit more mint or a little nuance. So you just think of it in terms of that. What could this add to a blend, or what will it lend to a blend?
Yeah, I love Cab Franc. It's so
Yeah,
nice.
it's a lot of people, it's like they love it. It's like their
Yeah.
favorite wine ever. And then a lot of people, it's
Yeah.
not for them.
Yeah, they
you know?
love it or
So,
they hate it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no in between.
And the last of our blenders, Petit Verdot.
Petit Verdot.
Looks just straight off the bat, it looks very dark.
Very
And this is the darkest
yeah.
of the
yeah,
bunch.
I think it is
Yeah,
the darkest
yeah.
of the bunch.
Yep. I would agree with you
You
guys.
can't even see through it.
And that's what it brings to Bordeaux blends. It brings dark color. Let's see if
Structure.
it's structure. So you will decide if you think this Cabernet Sauvignon needs more structure. Typically in Bordeaux, they're only going to use Petit Verdot and 1 or 2%. It's that potent of a wine. It adds that much structure to a wine. So it's that balance there between the color it brings and then the structure. It could bring a little too much structure. And then of the bunch, usually this is the variety that was going to have the most kind of blue fruit type of
That
ones.
is.
A blueberry.
Blueberry, yeah. But I'm also getting some blackberry in there too.
And why do we want to add it to a blend? Why do you want to add it to a Cabernet? Because is it the Cabernet is not, this might be wrong to say, is not good enough, or you just want to add a new flavor, or, are you trying to cut the tannins, or?
Yeah, I think there's a quote that says Cabernet is best when blended. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And I think, I think we'll arrive at a blend where we go, yeah, this has got a lot more intrigue, a lot more layers, a lot more aromas and flavors and depth, and something that if you bottle it up, it would be something I really want to have at dinner that would evolve over time or whatever. So it just adds all these extra nuances. And you look at a lot in wine regions around the world, it's very rare that you're just going to get one variety on its own. It's usually almost always going to be a blend of several varieties.
And does that 1% and 2% of a blend make a difference?
We'll try it. We'll try
People
something.
ask me that all the time
I-
in the tasting room, and I'm like, it must. I
We'll
have to
try
ask the
something. We'll
expert.
try it. Yeah.
In case of case, you're adding a drop now.
Yeah. So if you got your good descriptors, you got the color, you got aroma. So now let's just go through and go do the taste. Yeah. So we'll
Okay.
start with Cabernet, and you can smell and taste at the same time, and start thinking about what kind of blend you want to make, particularly while you've got the Cabernet in front of you.
What we would not want to add to it.
Yeah. Yeah, for the aroma and flavor. What you would want to add to it, we should just decide on a style
Oh,
of
okay.
a wine that what we want to make.
Like, I want to do two ones. Like I want to
Okay.
do what you think, Brenden, is like this is Paso Cab.
Okay.
So your representation of Paso Cab, and then we can go a little bit more old world of okay. Now if we go to try and mimic a more traditional Bordeaux blend, what would that be?
Okay. All
And
right.
then how those differ.
Okay. I like that. That's cool. Yeah.
Because it's
So-
always the old world versus new world conversation.
Yeah, and we're working with. So what we should do then? Let's try to make the old world first, and that's
Bordeaux
so
style.
that's
And
a
then-
goal.
And how would you define that?
So old world style. It's going to be a lot more freshness.
Okay.
Really geared around food.
Okay.
Probably higher acid on the palate.
Yep.
A lot more of those kind of fresh herbs and those
Okay.
sorts of things. Yeah. If we're really going for that, then I would. And typically,
yeah.
if you go to a Bordeaux house in Pauillac or Left Bank, somewhere there, you'll see that they'll have, maybe it'll be like 60% Cab and then 30% Merlot and then maybe 10% or 7%, something like that, of Cab Franc and a couple percent of Petit Verdot. So that's the kind of frame of reference for an old world blend. And now we don't need to copy those
Yeah.
percentages, but we probably want to shoot more toward those more minty type flavor and those kind of things like that. So
where did we get more? I think
Freshness and herbaceousness.
yeah, that's what we need to look for.
Yeah.
And I think what's funny too, as you were breaking down the percentages, like the way that wine is labeled in, say, old world versus here, where on the label it says Cabernet Sauvignon in Paso, in California. But yet there's a lot of other things. As long as it's 75% more Cab, it looks to the average person, oh, this is just Cabernet. But there's all those blenders too.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Versus in the old world style, it's really just where you are.
Region. Yeah.
And they have their own stylistic based off the region.
Correct. Yeah.
And you have to learn it a little bit more. There's a little bit of education to understand that, to know what you're drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
when you
true.
said that there's all of these blenders and it's only 60% Cab, like you think,
Yeah.
oh man, that's not that much Cab.
Yeah, it's not that much. But yeah, it's like you said, it's the blends are based on the region, and that's people in France and from the area. They know that, they accept that or whatever. We don't have that long history in the United States or whatever. So yeah, I think I don't know. I don't have the exact date, but probably in the 1970s at some point we decided to go with a varietal based system. So it has to be at least 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, but you have 25% to play with, and that's what the idea to make the wine better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's to be called a Cabernet Sauvignon.
But to be called a Cabernet
It has
Sauvignon.
to be that.
Yeah.
And then
anything
in
less
Europe
than 75,
is-
it's just a red
Yeah.
wine. Yeah.
And then in Europe, is it 85? Is it higher?
It's very appellation specific. They've got a lot more like laws depending on where you are, but yeah, it's not so cut and dry. Like
Yeah. All right. So
okay.
back to our cab. Oh no, we tasted
So you guys
Merlot.
tasted the cab, and what we have our two goals. We'll try to make. We got
Okay.
number one goal is to make a old world fresh.
So we need high acidity or higher fresh herbs.
Yeah. So you're paying attention to which varieties have a little bit more tartness on the palate, which ones are more herbal.
I think the Cabernet Franc definitely would go.
Yeah.
Just because of.
Yeah, but see, then how much Cab Franc are you adding? Because
Well,
you want to
that's-
overpower the pepperiness.
That's why we
Yeah.
have Brenden.
We have
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll make some
Oh.
blends here, and then you guys can decide where we go.
So should we taste?
Yeah, go
All
through
of
and
them
taste them all.
just to-
Yeah,
I think-
get some notes on all of them.
I'm on Cab Franc, and you love Cab Franc. Green bell peppers is one of my least favorite vegetables. But luckily, the aroma is a lot more stronger than the taste for the green pepper
Yeah.
that I'm picking up.
Yeah.
I taste it just.
Just because I told you now.
Did you taste the Malbec? What did you think about the Malbec? Was it soft, pretty big and
It
soft
is.
on the
It's
palate?
soft, yeah, and like the acid wasn't as high as the Merlot.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the middle one. We're okay. And then it was also more herbaceous than the Merlot too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm just tasting them in that order.
Yeah,
So
that's
comparing
good.
the two.
Those are great notes. Yeah.
But now what I would say is that more herbaceous than the Malbec.
And you said there's not much tannins in the Malbec,
Yeah. Typically, it's pretty low tannins.
and
yeah.
yet I got a
You're getting
little
some-
on the roof of my palate. Like I feel that astringent taste. Maybe I've created a new wine. Taste of the Malbec. So
Yeah, and it still always just blows my mind when I think about between all the vineyard sites, all the varietals, all the oak treatments after that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even know when to. That just seems overwhelming. And then after that, you have to make how many? We make 40 something wine. How many are red? How many red wines?
Oh, it's 30, somewhere around there. Yeah. so
So-
yeah, we're blending all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a
It's all the time.
test.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Petit Verdot?
Did not do that yet. Did
Probably
you?
I did. I tasted it. It's dry,
dry on the palate. Probably
a long finish.
long
Yeah.
finish.
Super long finish. Still turn on the lights and I can still taste it.
Yeah. And you want that from a cab, from a blend.
Yeah.
A nice long
yeah, you
finish.
want some of that.
Yeah.
So these are the things that Petit Verdot can add. Yeah, for sure.
And which wine, because you said we like to have it to go with food. So which wine do you think is better with food, or is it just what you're eating? You pick the wine to whatever. If it's fish, it's usually white wine. If it's meat, like,
That's that is a tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just try to make one that's just going to go with abundant. If we're going to go for an old world style wine, something that would go well with French food. Let's try it. Let's go for that.
Okay. Are we working on the old world style first then?
Yeah, I think
Let's
we should
just
do that.
one at a
old
time. I
world
get
first.
confused. All right.
So how do you begin to? If you were to start
Yeah.
blending,
Well, so if we're gonna go old world, we want freshness, we want acidity, right? We want some herbs.
Herbs. Yeah.
We'll start with Cabernet, and maybe let's do a Cabernet. We'll probably need some more glasses, or either that, or if you guys got it locked in,
Yeah.
with those, reuse them for making blends.
you can do
So we
that.
keep the cab.
Keep the
Just
cab.
dump
Yeah,
all
that's
the-
good.
Cab.
Yeah, keep the cab. That's your reference there. And what you might want to even do is give you a little bit more here and just passivate the other one. So just pour a little bit.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Into your other ones there, like that. Just go through them.
and then re-rinse them.
Yeah, just take a little bit like
Otherwise,
that.
we're gonna
and
have
then
a
just go to the-
2% in our.
Yep,
in
gonna
our
go to the
blend.
next one
Okay.
and just go down the line like that. Oh, just
Oh,
go
yeah.
right back in that one there. We'll save as much as you can. And so what I'll do is we'll write it down here.
And if you were doing this professionally, like you do, you would just have separate glasses. You wouldn't.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd keep these glasses and then have separate glasses for every one. Yeah. If you start getting, our first blend, we'll just call this one A, right? Old World A or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you start getting F or G, you probably should be wrapping it up pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we want Cabernet.
So what I'll do is I'm going to do 80-20. We'll do an 80-20 of Cabernet. And what do you guys think would be the most? I can tell you what I think would bring the most freshness, but I want to see what you guys would think. Most freshness, herbs, pepper.
And then Cab Franc
I'm
then.
I'm Cab Franc.
So you went A is 80-20, Cab Sauv, and Cab Franc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's our blend there. I'll just kind of use this, and then it's mixed up there. Take about half of it, pour it in there. Pour it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then give the other half to Josh.
Thank you.
Pour it in a glass, and then we'll do another one. Fun here.
You want a little? Here you go.
Go for it. Take it. Yep. You guys are
We're the testers.
testers. Yeah.
He already knows.
No.
It's A.
And then we'll do. Which way do you want to go? Less or more? So we'll do a 60-40.
60-40. And it's 60-40 Cab Franc.
60-40, 60 Cab Sauv, 40% Cab Franc. Yeah. And then, the A blend was
80-20.
80-20 Cab Sauv, Cab Franc.
So I remember asking Kristen to pull some samples just for part of the video series that we were shooting last month. And then the list that she had, and I was like, I didn't want it to be that much work, but the list that she had and that she was pulling and then having to re-rack the barrels to get the samples, pull the samples, put the barrels back up, and then go back to a different barrel room. And I was like, man, this is actually a lot more of an ass than I thought. Sorry. Which I guess but that's part of the job, though.
Yeah.
As you're,
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And you really want to see how these ones taste together. So we just have to pull them.
You just got to grab them. Yeah. And you're not going to pull themselves. So what do you guys think?
Should we taste or smell?
Smell first and then taste second.
All right, so this is 60-40.
Yeah,
Grab
so
a few more glasses and then I'll taste with you guys here.
smell is so good.
You want A? You're on A?
Yeah, A. But it's like there is that like candy taste or candy smell.
Oh, on the front, yeah, it's like a slightly, like almost
Sweeter.
like it's not a lot.
Yeah.
But there is like a brightness to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot more so than the second one. So I was saying when you were away, there's like a candy smell to the first one, like a sweeter.
Okay.
And the second one doesn't seem to have that aroma. It's more herbaceous. It's more.
Delicious.
Yeah, the Cab Franc comes out
and
on
the-
that 20% change, a lot
Yeah.
more.
Whereas I feel like I don't know what the aroma is that I'm getting out of the first one. I guess it's more Cabernet.
Do we need to try a 70-30?
I have to taste them both first.
There's almost like a Christmas spice, and I don't know what it is on A that I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
smell, but I don't know what the
there's-
spice
Well,
is.
that's a good thing to have. Yeah, conifer. Or, those Christmas spices. The other thing, what does every good song have? Every good song has like a hook, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that's catchy. So we, as part of making any wine, we want a hook too. So we're making old world wine, but maybe that Christmas spice. Maybe that's the hook.
That's what it is,
Yeah, I get that Christmassy nutmeg, cinnamon, some of those kind of aromas or whatever might make it interesting. And it seems like you're thinking less now about the Cab Franc, the bell peppers, and those things, and you're using more descriptors like that. Like some of those spices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I was gonna say I feel like A is missing like a little bit of depth, something like dark. I want a little bit extra of that.
So let's keep playing with the two varieties
'Cause they're pretty close.
It gets confusing when you start adding in
three or four
Yeah.
variables.
Four,
You can't
it's like,
A/B test, A, B,
Yeah.
C.
So just keep it real linear and see if a 70-30.
Okay.
That one does
Okay.
the money. If it keeps your Christmas, but it also adds the depth and stuff.
And there was more depth in B.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
But you got that herbaceous, which you don't really want from a cab.
Yeah.
You do, and you don't want it too much. It's interesting.
And you know what the other hard part about his job is? Do you make something that is approachable, everyone will like, or who are you trying to make it for?
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the best of what we can make from this vintage and the vineyard sources, but there's also but consumers also like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the consistency.
Yeah.
And that makes it a very difficult job, especially when, for me, from an advertising side, this ad doesn't work. Turn the ad off. Easy. You're like, no, we've already had to bottle a lot of cases of this wine.
Double down on this so that we
Yeah,
can
the
all-
pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure when it comes to harvest and trying to figure it out. Do you feel that pressure, or
I've been doing it long enough. We have a good enough team.
yeah?
And I've had the good fortune of not ever having to bite off more than I could chew and having good mentorship. So it's Steve Peck in particular and Jeff Meyer, and just a lot of training over a lot of years. I feel real fortunate and having all these people in place in the cellar and everywhere else where I don't get too terribly worried on it. I feel like it's kind of doing doing something that I should be doing.
You're a
That's
pro.
what I was
You're just
born
a
to do
pro
or whatever,
now,
you
and
know,
that's
now.
You can blend wines on a podcast table and not.
There you go. So
Okay,
we'll
but
pass that
then
around.
you're talking about the team. So just to give audience some context, when you said, okay, here are the final blends, and I know that there's a tasting that's still done with the Lohr family and with other winemakers. So how many people are at that table, and then how many different final blends are you tasting through to get the final kind of stamp of approval?
Most of the blends, doing blending like this, is going to be three of us. It's going to be Steve Peck, myself, and Brett Vassar, our assistant winemaker. And three's a good number. That just keeps pour me a little bit of there, and just in that one there. Yeah, I want to the point where I want to start tasting along with you guys. But so it's a good number. We can have enough input and have enough ideas and things like that.
Yeah.
And also, it's your question: how do you taste that many wines and not just get blown out or whatever? And so having three people, we can do different parts of the blending, separate it out. Sometimes maybe I'll do all the Cabernets, get the Cabernets just right, and then Steve will work on getting the Malbec styled in, the Malbec fraction of the blend dialed in, or something like that. So it's a way to save our palates and stuff, and we're all on the same page as far as what the house style is and what we're trying to achieve.
So C was 70-30.
So C is 70-30. Does that get our...
Okay. Paint the context more for the audience and give you guys more kudos. Because when you say that you're getting the cabs ready, that means you're having to blend all the cabs into what you think is the cab blend to then go with the other blenders.
Yeah.
So there's another blend process to get to the blend process.
It's an ongoing thing.
It's not just, we're just going to open any tank. Yeah, the spreadsheets that I've seen behind the scenes, it's just seems like a logistical nightmare.
Now, I'm from the last one. I actually prefer the first two.
First two, okay.
Because I think I'm not getting one or the other.
Yes, good.
Out of-
That's great. That's awesome.
It kind of feels like it leveled itself out and you're just...
There's nothing overtaking it. There's nothing you're not getting.
So you got to go for a style.
Yeah.
Right? So that's this part of this. I'm glad. See, we're going through this is part of the whole process. So you got to pick a style, and sometimes, and it's not always, the blends are not always going to be what you think. Most of the time, it's just, you just have to try it. You try it, you get what you get. It's like empirical or whatever. It's not, and so that's a big part of our process is, hey, we can speculate on it. We don't know how it's going to turn out. So let's just try it. Doesn't work. Most things just don't work. Most of the time, most batters go up to bat and they're 1 out of 3. What is it? 30.3% batting average or whatever. So it's the same deal. Like.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know that only for I've tasted these two.
Yeah. So you just always, we're always trying to take it one step further just to see. Let's test that. Even when we get to the very end, hey, we think we got the perfect blend. Let's take it one step further. See if we make it any better, or if that's it. Truly is the best blend.
So then from these three, ABC.
You
so start to pick a winner? What's the next step?
Pick a winner. What do you guys think?
I think
what's your consensus?
If we're looking for the freshness and the acidity, the combination, I think, of B.
The 60-40.
For me, I can get a bit of all of that.
Okay.
I don't know if you can.
And you're sticking, and what I like about the way your commentary on it is that you're sticking with that goal. And it's not just so much about what do I like, but it's just...
I like it too.
If every blend was my favorite blend, or it doesn't always work out that way.
Oh, I'm going back to what we said at the beginning, what we wanted from it.
What we want from it.
So if you want the freshness and the herbs and the acidity, I think B is it.
B. Okay.
I also agree, but I was immediately conflicted. As soon as you said that, I said, I agree, but I prefer A.
But that's what we prefer. Yeah, I liked A too, but I didn't get the fresh herbs from it, or I didn't get the acidity. I think it's more candid. It was sweeter. There's something, I don't know what it is, but I always, every time I smell a cab, I get that sweet aroma, and I don't know what it is.
That's the baseline, and then I'm obviously with the old world blends, you're adding a few other blenders to the mix too.
Yeah.
If you had added a little bit Petit Verdot to this blend, would it have cut it?
So that's where we could go. You could take the 80-20, and then instead of doing 80-20, we're doing 80-15 and 5 or something like that. And that Petit Verdot is going to add a touch more astringency, touch more blue fruit.
And
so
that might change
a route we can go.
Let's go 80.
Can we do that last one? And then just for the sake of how long we're going to run this one, otherwise we might need 2 episodes here. I do want to go into what a Paso cab is to Brenden.
Okay. What you want to do for okay.
But if you have a second and we want to answer Suzanne's question of what the 80, 15, 5, you said? Oh, no, what you said
Yeah,
is...
we could do that.
Yeah,
You want to try that?
80, 15, and 5. Yeah.
Which would be
Petit Verdot, 5. Cab Franc, 15, and then Cab.
5. CS, Franc, and Petit Verdot. So there we go. We'll do 80.
And you can tell us on time if
I'll have
we're...
to edit some stuff
Yeah.
out, maybe, probably.
And I like the rawness of it. I like... This is you in your element, and this is what you do all day long. Suzanne tastes the final product all the time with consumers.
Yeah.
Now you just gotta paint the picture and make someone want it through a screen.
I'll be able to explain it to people, how we do it.
Okay, now what's the advice that what is this now?
Oh, this is just a little like pipette or whatever.
Okay.
So this is going to shoot 5 mils into our blend here of Petit Verdot. I like the math. I just do everything in 100, so it keeps it real easy.
Versus having to guess on the milliliter lines there.
Yeah.
See, the last chemistry class I took was junior year of high school.
Junior year of high school.
So since then, I have not taken...
I'll guess with the 15 there.
I know, I didn't actually realize how much science was involved in winemaking until this job.
I know, I was the same. Yeah.
And even just beakers and pipettes and just the lab
Yeah,
materials that are inside, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
It is a science.
Yeah. It's cliche or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
just that mix of the science and the art, which is what I like.
When you add that plus the vineyard side of...
And the agriculture.
growing.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I've also learned that I never want to try and make my own wine, that's for sure.
It's too easy when you can get it at Lohr. Yeah, I'm
I
not going to
wouldn't
do that
recommend
either.
it.
It's like a very expensive hobby that takes a long time to learn.
And you need patience.
Yes.
There you go. So I made like a double batch or whatever, so we can split it up among the three
Three
of
of
us.
us. Okay, we have to.
Swirl it around a little bit.
I'm excited.
And then obviously if you are wanting to try an experiment like this at home, I mean, there are some blending kits that you can get. Obviously, if you want to see what the final products are, then you can buy different Lohr, say, Cabernets.
Yeah, and we have all the bottlings of all these varieties, so you can do this at home for sure.
And then you can get into the winemaker's mind a little bit with all the different blends that we have and figure out why did he actually look at that, look up all the production outlines online and see what the exact blend and composition is.
So what we're really making here is a cuvée, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is
Because
a cuvée.
it's a Cabernet. It's a Pot.
Right now, we could still, it's a cuvée, or it's a or we bottle it as Cabernet Sauvignon, because we're at 80, 15, 5. So 80% Cabernet Sauvignon. Do you get some of the blue fruit? That's just that 5%. It's a lot.
So in the beginning when I said that I wanted more like depth to be darker, that did it.
Yeah.
It's got the depth, the darkness, a little bit of blue fruit there. Still keeps the mint from the
But is
kind of
it
the
too
herbal.
much blue fruit now?
I would say we should do one more step.
Okay.
And we'll make an E, and we'll cut that to like.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I like that. But that's me. That's what I like. So
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
We're just gonna take it, push it to the edge.
Okay, but then by doing this, how far off are we from our goal now, though? Are we still
in our goal?
No, I think we're in the goal. We were
some
just
dryness. We've got some herbaceousness. That I think that the Petit Verdot even brought a little bit more tartness on the palate, a little bit more freshness on the palate. Yeah. So maybe we go.
And we wanted that. We wanted freshness
that.
from it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do 80, 17, and 3.
Just change it by 2%.
80, 17, and 3. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the question I asked you earlier. Does that 2% or that 1% make a difference? But it actually, we haven't tasted it yet.
We'll see if you think it does.
So behind the scenes, here are the Instagram stories. So if you see me here with the phone,
Cheers.
make sure to follow us at Lohr Wines, and you can see the behind the scenes videos.
I just finally signed up for Instagram like yesterday.
No, you've only been on it a million times.
You'll just be scrolling.
Oh man.
So what do you think so far, Suzanne?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do. And I do get a lot of people that ask me, does that 1% or 2% make a difference? Especially when they come in for tastings. And you tell them it does, it has to, but until you actually
Do it yourself.
today, just by doing it, I have tasted the difference. It'll be interesting to see if this is better than what we just had, or I'm not sure which one to throw out now because I want to keep this against the last one.
Here, I want to use...
Then you always got to go back and
Taste again.
against your original one, right?
Yes.
Your very first Cabernet all by itself.
Because that's the one.
Did I really do a good job, or
You need colored glasses to keep track of it all. You're like, oh.
use the markers there? Yeah.
I have the.
I know, yeah.
This is but you'd want to be putting the percentages on it. So this is 80, 15, and 5.
Oh, wait, I'm doing the wrong one there. Hold on.
I was going to ask you, I was
Yeah.
like, how many times have you messed up and then just have to restart the blend because you're just... or is there like a really fun story of it? Oh, and Steve Peck was on you for it or something?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm sure I've messed up a couple times.
But as you said, they have the big long table
Yeah,
to
it's
work
a little,
off.
yeah, it's
we're a
easier.
little round table here today. When we become pros, we'll get the big long table.
All right, there it is.
Okay, I might need
One more?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
was
that one
a
there.
sample here.
So we thought we had it at the 80, 15, 5,
Yeah.
and we're testing that, see if we can get it a little bit better.
You also need a napkin to do this.
I know.
Too. Oh, yeah, you can pull one.
I-
Tone it down.
I tone it down for sure.
And it's got
Because you thought there was too much blueberry.
I thought it was too much. Like I wanted a hint of it, but I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it. Let me go back and see if I still think it's too much. Yeah, it's more apparent on D, on the one with the 5% Petit Verdot. I like the tone down.
you like the E,
I like the
last,
E,
last
the
one
final
there?
one.
Yeah.
And I like the one before.
Oh, you like it?
I like the 80,
Big
15,
blue.
and 5. Yeah, I guess I must like the blue then, because I tried both of them.
Could you go like red and then blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I
Actually-
also liked the, was it 60-40? Like I like tasting the fruit and the, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like to know the ones I'm tasting.
But you get a pretty big difference, just a
Yeah, there is a huge-
2%
yeah.
difference between
now-
5% Petit Verdot and 3%. Yeah.
Okay, now how do you stop yourself from just 1%ing everything? Because you could get into a rabbit hole of just forever blending 1% to 1% changes.
Yeah.
Like, how do you no, this is actually good, but what if we just did this 1%
Yeah,
change?
yeah. No, usually there's something that just will really hit. you know?
Okay.
Yeah, almost always.
Okay.
So
You have some
yeah, you
mutual
take-
agreements.
we could-
Obviously, as a
yeah,
committee.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna get fun. I'm just gonna take the D and E and put them together.
It's funny, I just went back and tasted the original Cabernet just to taste the difference, and it falls flat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you've tasted this, like you're getting much more out of this.
so much more. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's missing. It feels like it's just missing something, but it's just missing fruit or herbs or that
Yeah.
you're getting out of it.
Did you go back?
I
original
just did it
Cabernet?
too. Yeah, yeah. You're missing. Yeah, there's not a long depth.
yeah.
The blueness is gone.
Even the finish was just quick. It's not long, like you got
That's
from.
the Petit Verdot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now if we were to compare this, switching gears, and I want
Take
to
your
go.
D and E and just put them together.
Is this what?
That's how I would roll.
Are you talking about the last two
The
we
last
did?
two.
Yeah,
put them together.
D
Just
and
put them
E.
together.
And this is Brendan's podcast Bordeaux blend, Old World Bordeaux blend.
Yeah. No, that's our whole team here.
Come on, marketing, give us a name,
Yeah, we need a name.
a branding.
If you make it as generic as possible, it helps with the search algorithms. If you make it something fanciful, no one's going to search it. Like, what? You made a wine on a podcast?
We did.
Podcast Red.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
going to say this as your... So now, if we were to contrast Paso Cab,
Okay.
like to you, what is Paso Cab?
To me, it certainly is going to be a lot of fruit, really, really fruit forward, more so than an old world. So it's just going to really showcase our climate. It's also going to be a lot of freshness,
Okay.
but not as much of the kind of the mint or herbal-y stuff. A touch of it, but significantly less.
Okay.
But I'd certainly want to show some freshness that we get in Paso. Everybody thinks it's like, ooh, this big hot
Yeah.
climate, so therefore it's real ripe and stuff like that. And we do get that, but we also got those cool nights and everything where we have a lot of kind of acidity and some structure on the palate too. I would probably just go more of something like we do with our Hilltop Cabernet, where I would blend maybe a little bit of Malbec and perhaps some Petit Verdot, something like that. So we could try, let's maybe just do 5 or 10%. Maybe we'll do 10% Malbec and see what you guys think of that one there.
So 90-10.
Yeah, 90-10.
And isn't like a Paso Cab as well? You get the fruit and the tannins on your mid palate when you're tasting it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a Napa Cab, you get the tannins to like the back of your throat. You feel it more when you're I find that with the cabs.
Yeah, I've never made that assessment before
I
either.
find with the Napa Cab, it's very fruit forward at the beginning, and then it hits you in the back. Whereas I think the Paso, everything's on the mid palate. You get the fruit, you get the tannins.
Well,
That's from tasting a lot of Paso wines.
let's try for that then. That should be.
Should we pour these out then? And
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, save
Well, we keep
like
the
your
cab.
Save the
your
cab.
cab, save your favorite your old world favorite.
I'm keeping
Okay.
Brendan's podcast.
okay, I'm gonna keep the 60-40. We have some glass.
And while Brendan's mixing up the blend, if you're listening to this, is probably an episode that you definitely want to be on YouTube for or on Spotify videos. So that way you can see exactly what he's doing, because this is... Brendan, how much would you say, what percentage of a winemaker's job is to blend? There's a lot of other things that you're managing through, not including harvest, but is this, what, 30, 40% of the job?
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, 30, 40. Yeah.
But every day you're touching a blend.
We're doing something. Yeah, we're working on something almost just about every day, almost every day. Not quite, but.
Especially when you think about making 30 wines.
Yeah, and there's different stages of the process where we're blending too. So as we're fermenting wines during harvest, we'll do an early round of blending for making our Seven Oaks Cabernets, separating what we think would be hilltop type quality Cabernets versus Seven Oaks versus signature. So there's always this kind of refinement process or whatever. We'll do the same thing.
You're making double batches.
Yeah.
Double batch, yeah.
We all need one of these at home.
Yeah. Those are.
And I think obviously that's why we have blending seminar. And we have a blending seminar down in Paso though now.
Yes, yeah.
When is that?
No, there's like that's a elevated experience that they're trialing out.
Oh. And who does the blending? Does it change?
I think Daryl's spearheading that program right now. So on
Yeah.
the consumer
Oh.
side, so if someone wanted to book
Yeah.
back in the new tasting salon room, someone can actually run through a similar experience and run through something like this. So there are ways that J. Lord you can do it. Thank you.
So you just have to reserve it ahead of time.
Cool. I'll just use that for the blend.
I mean that, or it's about to be released, but
We
I
might be
remember-
ahead of the game.
I remember selecting the pictures that we could use
Still your marker right
Oh yeah, I know. It's getting a lot now when you.
there. Yeah.
on one piece of paper on one small table.
Yeah, and tasting, but there is method to his madness. I'm gonna take it too. So we put in.
So that's
how
just
much?
kind of 90-10 cab
90-10.
cab Malbec.
90-10. All right.
Yeah, missing blue fruit again. Yeah, but less of the green pepper because without the Cab Franc. But the finish is short,
Finish is short. Yep.
especially compared to going back to the first Master Podcast blend.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'd agree on those on your assessment of that. It's a lot fruitier on the aroma, a lot fruitier on the palate. You got some black fruit, red fruit, even some floral stuff, real juicy and plump. The finish is a little short, and it probably just needs something else. Just
Yeah.
some other of those touch of blue fruit or something.
But
like
juicy is a nice word.
that. Super, yeah, real juicy. And I think of that as something that Paso Cab as being something that's real juicy and got a lot of volume on the palate.
Yeah.
And fresh.
Yeah, but also fresh.
It's an adult juice box.
It is.
Sugary.
So I would just recommend go based on that 90-10, and then maybe we add in a couple percent of Petit Verdot, which adds a touch of blue fruit, a little bit of length, maybe it'll be a little bit more drying on the palate or whatever, but
So then would
that's
you
not such
drop
a bad thing.
the Cabernet Sauvignons? Would you drop Cab to 80 and then go, or would you go 90, like 8.3?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's so
8.2.
98. Yeah, I would probably just go
7.3.
98.2. Try that. Yeah.
And how come on this one you're keeping it primarily like a lot more?
Because that Malbec has it's potent. It's just
And it
just has
has-
the red
yeah.
currant, and it's potent. And it can take it to the point pretty quickly where it doesn't taste like Cabernet anymore. Yeah,
And
so
you want to
still wanna-
keep, yeah, you want to keep.
We're still
the
trying to keep
cab.
a Cabernet
Yeah.
type flavor. So I'm glad you asked that question. Actually,
Yeah, because if you're thinking about percentages, and especially when you're doing it back to back right here, and you can see the stylistic difference.
And we do want to keep it, as you said, we have to keep to the original plan. So we do want to keep it fruit forward. We want the freshness. We want to showcase the climate. So you do want it young and fresh.
yeah.
I'm hired.
That's-
I thought I was before the pod, but maybe
Yeah.
not.
So 98 and 2.
So we're doing-
We said
Yeah,
right?
98 and 2.
98 and 2.
And here we go again with that 2%. Does it make a difference?
Does it make a difference?
See, the fun part is that if you watch a video like this, it immediately it makes you want to explore. Like you can't not and think, okay, now I need to find it for myself.
Because it is all about taste. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what makes wine good. And everybody tastes differently. Everybody, smells differently and tastes differently.
But I think there's another level of appreciation as you see. Granted, this is
Nothing to compared to what they do.
and then these blends, you also can't taste them exactly, but you get a sense of the thought process. And so as you're looking at the production outline, there's hopefully a deeper appreciation for what you're tasting through and the thought process that went into the blends. Because that's, for me, before I entered the wine industry, that was something that I completely overlooked all the time. I had no idea how much effort went into blends.
Or what it takes to make a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Like you go into the store and you buy it, but you don't know what goes into that, from just sowing the seeds to harvest to the science of it to then just blending.
There's a ton,
Yeah.
so much goes into it.
So people can't be complaining about the price of wine. They see all the work that goes into it. I really like the aroma of this one. I don't know what it tastes like, but I love the aroma. You get a little bit of the fruit. You get a little bit of, not even spice, but I don't know, it's probably the hibiscus flavors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
That 2% changed a lot.
A lot. A ton.
It helped it a lot.
Yeah.
Like I got the extra blue fruit, I got the extra finish. Like it feels more full.
Yeah.
And it's more silky on the palate. Like
Yeah,
it's just
weird how
flows
that
on the
works, huh?
palate. Mm.
Yeah, it's really strange how that works. So wine that's more astringent, you add a little bit. We could, if we were to go 10% or something like that of that Petit Verdot, you wouldn't say that. My guess is that you'd say, "Oh man, that's really
It's heavy.
heavy."
strong.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting how they just weave in.
It just cuts it that little bit that it needed.
And I guess what's
That's cool.
nice is as you go through this exercise year after year, you know at least where you want to be. So then how often then are you pulling in a different varietal into the mix as you're thinking about, say, Hilltop?
Yeah, for Hilltop, yeah. We'll think about, that's where you think about the vintage. So this 2024 vintage was one where we felt like we needed more freshness. So that was a vintage where we've added a little bit of Cab Franc just to add a little bit of the pepperiness or whatever. And then maybe on a vintage where it's a lot cooler, you already have a lot of those kind of minty type characters, then maybe that's where we maybe start going toward more Malbec or some of those, or Merlot or something like that. Yeah.
This has been fun.
Cool.
It really has.
Cool.
So obviously, if you want to explore any of this, whether it be now or later, I might have to edit this in the future, but you can do any of our production tours and see behind the scenes of what Brendan's doing, and hopefully by then, maybe our blending classes are also up down in Paso Robles, and maybe now we can also convince Brendan to come up and do one in San Jose too,
I'd
for
love
the San
to.
Jose Wine Club
Yeah,
members.
that'd be great.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
agreed to it now.
On camera.
Actually, we have the Brendan's Paso Cab, and then our podcast, Old World Style. We didn't do any quick comparisons between the two,
I wanna
especially.
see what you guys. I think we got a couple different things that we need fun to play with.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm getting more aromas from the old word. Are you, or is that
Could be. Yeah.
just on the smell alone? But then I think this is really nice on the palate. I really like this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think,
good.
Josh?
I'm also trying to. I didn't do as good of a job as writing on my glasses as you guys, so I'm
Oh.
thinking. But I think this is the Old World style. But although the blend for like the herbaceousness is a lot stronger with the Malbec compared to the Cab Franc.
And that
Okay.
should not be.
Yeah.
I know.
Because Cab Franc has the pepper, like the pepper that you didn't like.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm tasting it so much more.
You know what? We did add, didn't we add the Petit Verdot
Verdot.
to actually
Yeah.
bring that down, actually.
To be continued on another episode.
So fight for Paso over.
But obviously, if you want to take a look into some of the finished product that Brendan and the rest of our winemaking team has been making, you can learn all about our Cabernets and all the other red wines that we make at jlohr.com. And then if you want to see more blending episodes like this, we're going to actually do another one with our winemaker of white wines, Kristen Barnheisel, coming up. So make sure, wherever you're listening to, whether it be on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, etc., make sure to follow along and subscribe. But Suzanne, Brendan, thanks for joining
Thank you,
on the
guys.
podcast.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers to us.
Yay. Cheers,
Thank you.
Suzanne. Cheers,
Cheers,
Josh.
Brendan.
Cheers.